and get started. Okay, big breath in. Oh, let's wake up. New workout today. We're going to start out with something a little different just to add on. Circling it around. So keep the warm up short. Oh, reach, make yourself tall. And bring your arms down. Let's shift to our ankles briefly. Prance it out. Like I said, we're going to mix things up today a little bit. Let's come back to upper body and do our circles. Then the arms out, thumbs forward, pull those shoulder blades together. Tiny little circles, warming up the rotator cuff. We've got some upper body work today. We've got lower body work today. We've got core work today. We're doing it all. And we're going to get your heart rate up a little bit, I hope. Okay, make that fist, punch it out. Keep those shoulder blades engaged. They don't have to stay in one place, but let's roll that arm in the shoulder socket. Do two more, forward and back. Take it as far as you can. Push the edge of your mobility here. And let's roll your shoulders. Let the tension out. And pay some attention to your hips. So feet a little bit wider, whatever's comfortable. Tick tock. And circle it out. One more. And reverse. Nice and big and wide. So 2 days ago, I got my COVID shot. Last week I had my flu shot. And I thought the only side effect I had was just a little soreness in my arm, which is no big deal. But yesterday, my whole body ached. Like every tendon and ligament and muscle was taut and didn't want to move. And the only thing I can think of was that's my body reacting to the new COVID vaccine, which was a little unnerving. But fortunately, Motion took care of it. So I'm feeling great today, and you guys are in trouble. Let's circle out your ankles and your knees. And reverse direction. That you have those moments when you feel that way. It's like, oh my God, I'm getting old. What has happened to my body? Why does it feel so crappy? Okay, nice one is temporary. Grateful for that. Okay, let's circle out the ankles just a little bit more. Side to side, circles, anything you want to do as long as that ankle gets moving. And let's switch feet. Side, circle both directions. Wake everything up. Maybe take your foot off the ground and see what it feels like to circle without that contact with the ground. Let's take our feet wide and go side to side. Okay, come back to center. Let's try some shoulder drops. Stretch out your back. Okay, and then sink it down into a squat. Looking at my list, we do not have squats today. We have a wall sit, but we don't have squats. But let's see if we can get a little bit deeper. Let's just hold, and go a little deeper. Let's see if you can sink down into it. This might be the deepest I've ever gone in a squat. Side to side, shift gently, 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 only if it feels good. And bring your hands down to the floor and take those hips up. And let's hold it here for just a moment. So you're in a forward fold. Hang on to your elbows or keep your hands on the floor. Let your head, neck, and shoulders drop. Totally relax. Nod your head. Shake your head. Make sure you've got your neck nice and loose and relaxed. You're as tense as you are when you are halfway through your workday. It's not good. So let your body drop. Let your arms reach for the floor. Nice big stretch. Going to the right. Going to the left. Please don't get dizzy doing this. If you're getting dizzy, put your hands down. Bring your head up. Whatever you need. Side to side. Nice and gentle. Now let's bring our hands onto the floor, down into a squat, and press those hips up. So sink it down, look up, hips up, look down. If that doesn't make you dizzy. Do two more. Sink it down, push it up, sink it down, and push it up. Hands on knees, and roll it up. Let's roll shoulders. Mine are certainly very crackly. Okay, so we're going to start pulling our knees in. Let your lower back round. Make sure there's no tension in your low back. What's the point in having tension in your neck if you also have it in your low back and you can't get rid of it all? And let's go into some side kicks. Nice, easy, bilateral movement. And let's take our arms out to the side and try doing some kicks with that upper torso rotation. Reach for your toes, your shin, your knees. I'm reaching for the air. It's the rotation, it's not the contact that counts. Feel more. Last set. Good. Okay, so we're going to start with a little bit of core. We're going to do 30 seconds of movement. Switch sides, 30 seconds of movement. Different move, 30 seconds. Really what it is 30 seconds of this, 30 seconds of this, fast as you can. 30 seconds to the outside, 30 seconds to the outside. If you need to hold on, for sure, hold on. And then we're going to come down and do our side planks. Ha. We usually do this at the very end. We're going to do it at the beginning this time. So let's get going. It's like you're holding onto a balloon and trying to smash it on your knee. Going across your body. Like doing a chop. Nice. Get up. 10 more seconds. You go your own pace. The front leg is getting tired. It's holding all your weight. And let's switch sides. We're going 3, 2, 1. So we're not going like this. We're going like this. So your front foot is up and out to the side, and we're crossing. There we go. No more seconds. And let's take it to the outside. If you need to hold on, one finger hold on. And let's go. 30 seconds. Side crunch. Bring your elbow and knee closer to each other. Arm is out for balance. If you need support, one finger against a wall, a chair, whatever you got. And let's switch sides. Setting up. And let's hit it. Nice. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Let's set up for a side plank. If you're on the floor, you're good, you know what to do. If on the floor is not working for your arms or your wrists or your body, do it on an incline. Use a coffee table, use your sofa, use a kitchen counter. I'm gonna start going now. So 30 seconds on one side, and then we'll switch and go 30 seconds on the other. So about 10 more seconds. I think it took a little bit longer to get your setup for this. And 3, 2, 1. Set it up and take it to side 2. And we'll go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds here. Perpendicular to the floor, nice straight line. So if you feel underneath here, you can feel those obliques working. On an incline, I'm working just as hard. A little bit less of a struggle against gravity, but those obliques are working just as hard. And 3, 2, 1. Come on, out of that, we're gonna go through that one more time, cross body, then to the outside of the body, and then our side planks. And then we'll get into the strength training part of the workout. So let's go in 3, 2, 1. You got balloon, smashing it into your knee or popping it. Going across your body like you're doing a chop. Pace is yours. Find your coordination. I've been doing this all week with people, and you know, when you don't do these kinds of movements, they don't come very naturally. So take your time with it. And let's switch sides. So just when you get one side, we go to the other. Got your balloon, smash it against your knee. Nice. So for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you need balance, find your balance point, otherwise arm out. And let's go 30 seconds to the outside. Want to get fancy? You can slow it down and try doing it for balance without touching down. You need to touch down. We're still getting that crunch in. All good. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Wait, we're doing a lot of work before 7:30. Setting up on side 2. There we go. A-okay to touch down. A-okay to be holding onto something for balance. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Last round of side planks. Are you ready? Let's get set up. We'll go in 3, 2, and 1. More seconds here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it in. Let's turn it around. And let's come up. 3, 2, 1. Hit that side plank. Make sure your elbow is directly underneath your shoulder. If it's tucked in a little bit or winged out a little bit, you might feel a little bit of extra strain on the shoulder joint. We want your shoulders to be happy, and they're happiest if they're stacked. More seconds. And then we'll go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Let's roll your shoulders out, swing your arms. All right. Grab a drink if you need it. And I'll tell you what we need for our first round. We're doing reverse lunge with a band. So it could be a flat band, tubing, a loop band, whatever you've got handy. Doesn't matter how hard or easy it is. We're just gonna be holding it up overhead and pulling apart to create a little tension so our back and our glutes work together. We're gonna be doing a wall sit and then light-ish weights for doing dumbbell press outs. We haven't done these in a while. It was like parting the curtains. That's our first round, 3 exercises. We'll do them 3 times, and then we'll come back for a second set of exercises, which is a pair, upper body with a plank, separate. Those are the 2 exercises. And then we have mobility for the very, very end. So band or tubing. Got my band. I'm going to do reverse lunges with the overhead band. So you're going to hold the band up way up high and pull apart. Doesn't matter if your hands are here or here. As long as you're pulling apart, you're engaging all your back muscles. And that's what we want. We want your back working while your lower body is working. So we're just going to hold it here. And let's stay on one side for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, keep pulling on that band, 2, and 1. Let your shoulders relax a little bit. Reset on the other side. So we're not doing split squats, so we have to start with our feet together. Pull apart and step it back. Nice. 4, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's put the band down. Find a wall. It's okay if you go off camera. Find a wall someplace where you can set your body against. We'll go in, let's go in about 10 seconds. Let your legs relax. We'll stand up until we're ready to go. Okay, so if you got your spot, we're gonna go in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna time it for a minute. You need to come out of it, lift up, and then come back down. So you don't have to come all the way out of it unless you really, really need to. And I'll never know because nobody else is on camera. So let's get those quads burning. It's been a while since we've done these too. It's kind of fun going back to these older workouts. Instead of waiting months between all these moves, more like weeks, because we hit a different one every day. Okay. About 30 seconds left. Lift up when you need to. Sink back down into it when you can. We're at about 45 seconds now. See if you can hang in for 15 more. I'm feeling it. Strong quads. Good for life. And we stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift it up. Shake it out. And we have our dumbbell press outs, for which we will use light weights. So we're going to start with the weights here. I'll come closer. And what we're going to do is going to be like parting the drapes. So we're going to press out and come up. Press out and come up. 3. Keeping your elbows up. 'Like a weird way of swimming. 6. Nice. 8. Let's do 4 more. 10. 11. Last one. And let's put the weights down. Shake your arms out. Grab a drink, swing them. Take your legs out, grapevine. We'll take a minute here and then we'll go through it again. The first set with 3 exercises takes longer to get through 3 times. It looks like it's taking a ton of time. The next 2 sets, I have 2 exercises each, should just flow a little bit faster. So let's take our time, treat our muscles right, give them a little bit of recovery before we ask them to work again. Might feel good to stretch. Open up your chest. Do some butt kicks. We're going about 15 seconds. Give your legs a little bit of a rest. Give your shoulders a little bit of a rest. Get your band. Let's get into position. See if you want to single or double your band. Make sure you've got a good grip so when you pull apart, you can pull your shoulders from hunching at your ears down away from your ears. And let's hit it. Let's go 8 on each side. And 1, and if you want the hoity-toity thing that we're working on is postural integrity. So relax your shoulders, pull the band apart again, and let's do side 2 for 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We got a little twist to add on in the last set when we get there. In the meantime, go about 15-20 seconds. Find your spot against the wall. And let's go for 1 minute, starting now. Take it down. We're not doing single legs today. You want both legs to work, so you're pressing through your heels, making sure your low back is in contact with the wall. Creating that line of tension that allows you to hold it here. The more muscles you work, the harder it feels because you have more muscles working. But a different kind of hard than if you're just kind of sitting on your joints and expecting your bones to hold you up. So by pressing into your heels and pushing back with your hips, you're engaging all the muscles to do all the work. And we have 15 seconds left. Hang in there. Ooh, my legs are quaking. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Butt kick. Let those quads stretch. And grab your lightish weights. If they were too heavy, go lighter. If they felt too light, go a little bit heavier. You start here. Actually, we're gonna start here. I lied. It's been a while since I set this one up. And we're gonna push out. And that's like a half moon. Come back, push those curtains apart, and bring it back. Not so easy to hold your shoulders and arms up in this position with the weight moving away from your body. Doing great. 4 more. 3, 2. Nice. The last one. And let's put the weights down. Roll your shoulders, shake it out, grab a drink. 1 minute, 1 minute to recover. If you're doing this on your own, you can definitely take a little more time if you need it. One of the things I was talking about with one of my coaching clients yesterday was what to do when you don't have a whole hour to squeeze in a workout. And I'll write something about it in our note today. But the idea of having fitness snacks rings true, especially this time of year when everything is getting really busy with the holidays coming up and the days getting shorter and not having all the time to get outside. The order of exercises in these workouts has been very well thought out, but they're not written in stone. So if you can do one exercise when you get up from your desk, another exercise when you get up from desk later, another exercise, on your way back from the bathroom or the kitchen from lunch. If you can squeeze in these workouts throughout the day, exercise by exercise, you're still getting a lot of benefit. So keep that in mind. As the days get shorter and we start feeling more pressed, like it's very time for hibernation, but I need to get my workout in anyway. Go 8 on each side. Whoops, I forgot to show you the twist. The twist is to add the weight into your hands. So you're holding weight up overhead and pulling the band apart. If you wish, that's an option. Whoops, we're staying on one side. Sorry, I was switching. 6, 7, 8. Switch sides for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the legs down. Definitely, I can tell you, adding just 5-pound weight, even if I had a 3-pound weight, going across the band, you're going to feel it more in the shoulders. Do we need a little pause before we go to our wall sits? Okay. Take your time. Let's go in 10 seconds. Hang out here, let your heart rate come back down. And sink it down. 1 minute here. Wish I could unmute you all. It'd be nice to share jokes. What else is there to do when you're holding a wall sit? Take your mind off what your legs are doing. They're pressing through our heels, pushing through our back. If that feels too easy, you can always take your arms up. But no need, you can always keep your arms down here. Your lower body is still doing all the work, and we are halfway through. You're tired and pooped and you need to lift out of it, lift out. And when you're ready, come back. A minute is a long time, especially we have not been practicing this for a while. You have about 10 more seconds, so you can stay with it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide up out of it. Shake your legs out. Let's get ready to part the drapes. Don't need a big break because we're not using our legs. So push them apart and bring it back in. Push apart. Nice big half moon. $11 and $12. Beautiful. All done. Getting ready to move on. We're going to take a little bit of a break. Swing your arms, get everything ready. Our next two exercises are rear delt flies and a plank with alternating knee drops, which can be done on an incline. And I'll show you how when we get there. I'll do the first set on an incline. But because we are doing rear delt flies, let's give our shoulders a stretch. Maybe our chest also. We want our shoulders feeling happy before we start asking them to work. So we've been doing these flies. We've done lower traps. We're still engaging the lower traps with these, even though I'm not calling them lower trap workout. So it's one arm, 1 1/4. We're going to set up kind of like we set up for a 1-arm row. So flat back, don't let your shoulder drop. You want to pull it up so it's even with the other arm. And what we're going to do is a pinky raise up, down a little bit, up, and then all the way down. So up, quarter pulse, and down. We're going for 8 of these on each side. Straight up to the side like you're making your arm into part of the letter T. If that quarter pulse is just a little bit too much, these are small muscles, either go to a lighter weight or skip that quarter pulse. Or do as many as you can and feel really good about it. Those are your choices. We're doing 8, and when you're ready, we'll switch over to side 2. Looking to see who's done. And setting up, quarter pulse, 2. Pinky up towards, it doesn't have to stick out, just that outside part of your hand up to the ceiling. And as you're doing this, make sure you're not hunching your shoulder up to your ear. That would be asking your upper traps to do the work. I want you to see if you can still pull from that middle part of your back. Let's do one more. Down. And turn my lunge around. Just swing your arms a little bit. Plank and shoulder work. It's all shoulder work, really. The plank with knee drops. If you're on the floor, your knees are going to go down to touch the floor while you're holding your plank. If you're doing it on an incline, either on your wrists or your elbows, it's almost like you're running in place. But notice my heel, my hips, and my shoulders are still in alignment. So my weight's shifting. Weight's shifting, but your core is still holding you. So let's go for 20 drops. It's not for time. And we're done. Not so bad. I'll show you on the floor next time. Bring your arms out. Grab your lightest weight. Adjust your weight if you need to. We're going to set up. So this is what I meant. If one shoulder is dropped like you're reaching for the floor, suck it back up so it's in line with your other shoulder. And try not to let your shoulder reach for your ear. Everything pull down, pull from that middle back. I'm going for 8 on each side. Up, quarter pulse, down. Up, quarter pulse, down. You're feeling this in your neck. Try doing it without weight and see if you can feel it without working into your upper traps. And when you get to 8, go to the other side. Good. 3, 2. We'll do the next round on the floor with a plank. You can do it on your hands. You can do it on your elbows. A little bit less of a drop if you're on your elbows. It's almost like running in place while you're holding your plank. Let's just do a couple of shrugs before we go into that plank. Just check in with how your shoulders are feeling. And then we'll step back into our plank and drop. You feel it in the quads. And when you're all done and you're on the floor, rock back into child's pose. You've been doing it on an incline. Pull against, if you can, pull against whatever you are on, let your back stretch. We have one more round. One more round. Then we have fun stuff. But this is all fun. Let's take about 20 more seconds. We'll start right at the top of the minute by my clock. Grab a drink if you need it. And then find your weights. Setting up like you are for a 1-arm row. Let's hit it. Let's go for 8, 7. Pull with that middle back. 6, 5. Notice if you're keeping tension in your shoulders and your neck. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Everything today feels like it's posture, right? We're working the rear delt with tiny little muscles right behind your shoulder. So important for keeping you upright so we don't round our shoulders. Here we go. Pinky out, up 1 1/4 for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So if you haven't tried your plank on the floor with the knee drops, try it on the floor with your knees drops. You'll see if it feels different. If you know that it's not going to feel good, don't do it. Right? The last round of plank with knee drops, just counting to 20 little knee drops. It's like you're running in place while you're in a plank, but not a mountain climber. Right? So you can take your feet wide to hold yourself steady. Find a nice strong plank. 1 knee down, the other knee down. Each knee drop counts as 1. And then rock back into child's pose when you are done. For our last pair of exercises is calf rocking or heel rocking. First one I learned this from called it calf raise rock and roll. So you want to have something to place your hands on so that you can support yourself with a flat back. And then we're going to start with bent knees, roll up to a heel raise, rock back to a toe raise. But what you don't want to be doing is going up and down. You can move forward and back to get your ankles mobilized, but not up and down. Let's go for about 20 or 15. My toes don't come up very far. But I'm glad to be working on these. Heel up, toe up. Big difference between what each side of your ankle can do, huh? Yeah. Try and do this, keeping your upper body as still as you can. I'm going to do a few more. My toes barely come up off the floor. I'm glad we have a couple of sets working on this. Exercise 2 is plank to down dog. As you come back to your plank, if you wish to add the push-up, it's optional. Okay, so let's circle our wrists out. Make waves, make circles. Just take a moment. You know, everybody's wrists get sensitive, and we just held planks, even though it was on our elbows. We've been holding weights and bands. Okay, so level 1, say, for lack of a better terminology, you're going to be gliding from a plank to a down dog. You can stop and pedal out your feet to stretch your calves, but you're just going to go plank to down dog. Level 2, if your game is to add that push up and then push back to a down dog. Plank, rest, and down dog. And we're only doing 6. So do the version that works for you. If you do 3 push-ups and then want to drop them and do 3 more just plank to down dog, that's fine. So let's go for it. And when you're all done, back into child's pose. And when you're ready, come up. We're going to do those 2 things one more time. And let's settle in for a stretch. So circling out your wrists, finding your bench or your table, your arm of your sofa to prop yourself on. We're going to start with bent knees and roll up and back. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. And pull back. And then let's come down on the floor. One last time. We'll get through our plank to down dog or our plank down dog push-up. I'm going for 6. If it feels good, you can do some more. Starting in a plank, hike it up, pedal your feet out if it feels good, rock forward, and press. 3, 2. When you're all done, let's come on to a nice wide knee child's pose. Let your hips come down to your heels, let your belly go between your legs and reach forward. Let your head drop to the floor. Then take some big deep breaths. We're going to take our arms over to the right, holding that child's pose. And take our arms over to the left. Don't worry, we're not done with child's pose. We're going to stick with it and do some more stretching in it. Whew. Take some deep breaths, let that ribcage expand. Come back to center. Come up onto hands and knees, but bring your knees back under your hips so they're not so wide. And let's sink back into child's pose, but thread the needle. So sink your hips back towards your heels, let your head come to the floor. One arm's reaching across, one arm is reaching forward. And your arm can be in any position where the back of your shoulder is getting a stretch. Doesn't have to be exactly where I have it. You might feel it in a different place. And then let's come up and switch sides. And then come back onto your hands and knees. And curl your toes under. And let's just rock back towards your heels and forward. 3 more. 3, and then let your hands slide forward, squeeze your booty, and press your hips down. And look up. So let your abs stretch, let the front of your hips stretch. And then we're going to come back up onto hands and knees and take one leg out to the side. I'm going to turn around so I can face you. So from here, we're going to do that hip rocking and just go forwards and back. You don't have to stretch all the way forward. And then settle back in with your hip over your knee. We're going to take that outside hand, the knee that's down, and take your hand behind your head, rotate down and up. Forward. Bring that hand down. The other hand comes up, the side with the outstretched leg. You're going to reach up to the ceiling and then reach through and thread the needle. Imagine you're pulling a rope and reaching up again. 2, 3, 4, bring that hand down, bend your knee and bring it back in, and we'll do side 2. So side 2, leg is sticking out. You're gonna get a nice big stretch on that inner thigh. Make sure you're not sliding over. You want your knee and your heel and your hip tracking the side that's rocking. If you can try lifting up your toe. It'll go a little bit deeper into that groin stretch. Not necessary. There we go. And then settle in with your hip over your knee. Take that side hand behind your head. Let's do 4 rotations. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that hand down, and we switch sides to do thread the needle. So reach up, pull through, grab onto that heavy rope, make it a meaningful movement. Let's do 1 more. Bring that leg down. Let's come up into half kneeling. Squeeze the booty on one side, press it forward, and reach up. Oh, that feels good. So keep that hip engaged. We want to stretch the front of your leg. It means you're working a little bit on your hip. So be it. We want that stretch. And lean over a little bit farther. So you can get more stretch through your side body. And let's ease out of it and stretch that front leg straight and hinge back over it. You might notice your back leg triangulating to keep you steady. That's okay. You can reach for your toes and pull them back. And come out of it, and let's go to side 2. Other leg up. Squeeze that booty, press it forward. Reach up and over. Nice work this morning. Hope you enjoyed it. We're going to finish this stretch and then you can hit the showers, and get on with your day. Keep pressing forward. Get that stretch in the front of your hip. And then let's back out of it. Glide that front leg straight. Hinge over it. Use something for balance if you need it. Really all we want is the stretch. Let's not worry about balance. Yesterday I heard another physical therapist talking about, she was teaching a fall prevention class before I was teaching my class over at the hospital. And I hadn't thought about this, but the biggest predictor of a fall is having already had a fall. And the reason for that is because once you've had a fall, you start guarding and trying to prevent another fall. And when I say that's okay to hold on for balance, it doesn't mean you're a wimp because you can't balance. It's trying to take that fear factor out so that you can get into the stretches, into the movements, build the strength, build the mobility, and take away that fear factor. Because once that fear factor is gone, the balance will come back with the strength. So anyway, enough of that. It's the end of the workout. You guys need to get on with your day. Hold that thought in your head. Do what you need to do to get rid of the fear in your life so that you can do what you need to do. And I'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend.